Welcome back to the Cap Cave, everybody. It's a rare occurrence when you see Star Wars The Black Series on store pegs, but this week, a special occasion as I was able to find Wrecker from the Bad Batch at my local Target. So I did as is become common practice as being a collector in 2021. I canceled my pre-order while standing in the toy aisle and brought this bad boy home so we could do a video review on the channel. Hope you do get a chance, go over and check out my column that I did over on Biff Bam Pop. I'll have a link to that in the description below. I'm going to be a regular contributor there along with my buddy E.A. Henson. We're going to be doing the Figure Friday column on a rotating basis, so make sure you go ahead and give that a check every Friday morning. Greatly appreciate that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get Wrecker opened up and see what he's got to offer. So out of the box, we have a killer head sculpt here. You can definitely see the vibes of Tamara Morrison in his face. We've got that dead left eye and some scarring on the side of his head. He does rotate pretty well. He's got a nice head swivel. It's like there's a dumbbell joint in there, so you can see that you get movement from both the neck and the head, which is always nice. He does also come packed in with his custom clone helmet here. Nice detail work and paint applications on that. I will say you do need to be careful when you are getting the helmet on his head, because if you take a look here, you can see his chin underneath. So you need to make sure that you get it tucked down all the way. Give it a little extra push and it'll go down. But unfortunately, once you get the helmet on, the range of motion really goes out the window. You can see here you're not getting much out of that anymore. Now, around the collar is a little bit of a softer plastic, so you don't have to worry about getting your fingers pinched. See here how much head tilt you get going forward and backward, but that's about it. You can see here he does get a nice ab crunch forward and backwards as well as tilting. He does have single jointed pinless elbows. He does have swivel in the wrist and the elbow as well. Those shoulder pads do fold up. It's a little bit softer plastic, and they also rotate to help get out of the way to get him into poses, so that's always nice. There's actually a slight butterfly joint in his arms as well, so that's a nice little detail. You can see here how he's pretty much spread wide out. Nice open stance here on Wrecker. Knees pinless and only a single joint. Now the nice thing about these shoes, hey, look at the boot tucks up over that back piece of armor, which is always nice. He can do the splits. Not that Wrecker's going to be in many agile poses. If you take a look, just holding the figure up to the light here, they did such a nice job of sculpting in little details, scratches, nicks, and they did an excellent paint job. Sometimes less is more, and these little details here really take this figure to the next level. Super detailed, and I really appreciate the time and the effort that they put into this figure. You can see it very weathered. You truly get the feel that Wrecker has seen a lot of missions. He does get this blaster. This was also packed in with Hunter and a backpack as well. The backpack, there's a little bit of play to it, so once you get it secured, I would just leave it in place, because you nudge it, it's going to fall off quite easily, but you port in just like so, and it looks pretty good. You also get this giant machete style knife, like a machete Bowie knife essentially, and there is storage for it on the backpack. There's also storage in his leg, which is how I will prefer to store it. Unfortunately, there is no storage for the blaster pistol itself, which is a little bit frustrating. The other frustrating thing, you don't get any extra hands besides these. So he's Wrecker. Why can't we get some fists to go with Wrecker? There's actually the image on the side of the box. You can't even get him in that pose because he has no fists, and it looks a little ridiculous. But overall, I'm really happy with this figure. He balances really well. You can see him. I've got him up here in a pose with a clone trooper trooper on his shoulders, and he's really balanced well. He's a good figure. There's a lot to like about Wrecker. If you get an opportunity to pick him up, I highly suggest doing so. I don't think that you will be disappointed in the least. This is one of the better offerings that they've had in a hot minute. I'm hoping that finally some of these figures are going to start hitting pegs more often, and we're going to start getting these latest waves, and they're going to start to happen a little bit more frequently. It would be nice. But let's go ahead. Enough of me talking. Let's take a look at some beauty shots.